Hi, this is Lynn Everard, and the title of today's video is Collapsing Intimacy. Perhaps you've had a conversation with someone or saw something where someone said that they were intimate with another person over the weekend. And if you're like most people, you probably assume that what that was talking about was sexual intimacy or physical intimacy. But it may not have been the case, but the way that our culture is set up, the way that we operate, uh, at least 9 times out of 10, and probably more, the assumption is going to be that the two people that were being discussed were actually experiencing physical intimacy. But there are at least two kinds of intimacy, and we're going to talk about two of them today. One is emotional intimacy, and the other one is physical intimacy. So where I'd like to start with this is that both men and women desire both, but not necessarily in the same order. So for women, there's more of a desire. And again, what I say is not an absolute for all men or all women, but by and large, for most women, there is a desire for emotional intimacy, which allows her to feel seen, heard, and understood, and also to feel safer as she moves into physical intimacy with the partner. Men, on the other hand, are often seeking the physical intimacy, and some might even say that they need the physical intimacy to feel an emotional connection. But this is where we start to run into trouble, because some men, perhaps many men, I don't know the percentages, but at least some men really struggle with the idea of emotional intimacy, perhaps because they were hurt by previous relationships. Perhaps they were missing some important element in their childhood. Maybe they weren't nurtured. Maybe they didn't have a good relationship with their mother. It could be almost anything. And so although a man is going to seek the physical intimacy first quite often, it doesn't mean he doesn't want emotional intimacy on some level. It's just that he may be afraid of it and really want to run away from it. So when a man is operating in this place, it's like he's bypassing the emotional intimacy. And of course, this creates problems for the two people, because she can never really have what she wants, and he can never really have what he wants. And then they blame each other rather than understanding that they really do want the same things. They just don't necessarily want them in the same order. So it's really important as we look at ourselves, as we see within ourselves to see what makes us happy, and that we look deeper than simply the physical encounter, the physical intimacy encounter, and really go and see what we're looking for. Because as both men and women, what we desire deeply is emotional connection with another person. Although, like I said, if we have some issues with it, we're going to tend to want to pull back. But for a woman, this is really important too, because if the man that she's considering being with physically can't go into that emotional intimacy space, is she ever really going to feel safe with him? And is she ever really going to have everything that she desires in that relationship with him? And so I would encourage everyone to really look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself, see what it is that you really desire most, and then don't settle for anything less. And guys, if you're someone that is, does that bypassing thing, maybe you're not even aware of it, that you feel like you have to have the physical intimacy, and then maybe the emotional intimacy will grow from there. You really want to look at that, because you really may just be fooling yourself. And if you're fooling yourself, that means you're not really being honest with your partner. And so if this is something that you struggle with, it's not that you're stuck with it forever. And if you'd like support in that, I invite you to reach out to me. I'd be happy to discuss it with you. And if we're a good match, I'd be happy to provide some supportive coaching services for you. So all I have for today. Would love your comments and questions. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much.